get on this book, when I reading this one, I realize that rich people believe that they always say that I create my life, and poor people say that or believe that life happens to me. Okay, so on those two things, of course, if ever you have the intention of to building your richness or you wanted to be a millionaire, you really have it's based on how you create life. If ever you're lazy, then um, of course the effect would not be that. What are you expecting? Okay, and number two, that rich people are committed to be rich, and people, those poor people just wanted to be, want to be rich. It's just like simply like going to the toto or lotto, trying their luck there instead of thinking of possible ideas or investment in which you could rely, or which there's a possibility of growth for you to be able to achieve financial freedom. Okay, and rich people think big, and poor people think small. Okay, so we capture the millionaire's mind or the rich people's mind wanted to capture about the whole problem itself, and they're trying to solve it in a way that there's always a possibilities for that. In every situation, there's also a lot of opportunities for them. They don't think about there's a hindrance about it. So for us to be able to succeed, we just, I know the problem's there, but think of it, there's still always a solution for that. You don't really stop on one point or on one another. No, it doesn't work like that. Okay, and rich people admire rich people. Okay, and those people who are successful, like me, I'm admire uh, the owner, Sir Brandon, who's owner of the Virgin group of companies, and who else? Oh yeah, who doesn't know Mark Zuckerberg of Facebook or Bill Gates? Of course, I try to look upon them because they are successful people, um, who've made a real huge difference in our society, in the whole world actually. Just like Facebook, just like the computer, Microsoft. So they made a huge impact on our lives, and I really admire them, and in other words, that I really follow what they usually say, or what was the things that made them rich or in that kind of status. So yeah, and rich people associate with positive, and they wanted to promote themselves and their value, and poor people think negatively about selling and promotion. What the heck? As I said during my whys, I always say like, what's the reason behind why I'm doing this? It's for my family, for my loved one. I don't care. Nowadays, you don't have to be choosy. You just have to deal with it. You have to take action. That's the most important thing. At the end of the day, you did it right. You did something for your family, and that's how it goes. There's a positive effect. Okay, and rich people choose to get paid based on the results, and poor people choose to be paid based on their time. So for us, like me, I'm an entrepreneur. I'm a digital marketer, an online business owner, or a digital owner, I just call that. I'm trying to help people solve their problems, and I look at that kind of big, so that whatever happens, at least I made something that would help them or ease their problems. Okay, and I don't just get something. Oh, I have this. Oh, maybe, oh, we have a rich family. Maybe I could ask something or some help for them. No, it doesn't have to be, and it won't be always to be like that. Okay, so you just have to take on point of that. And knowing the book itself, you have to perceive that if you want to change the fruits or the results, you have to first change the roots. So if you want to change the visible, you must first change what is invincible. So in other words, for the remember I talk about TFAR, like if your thoughts are positive, so the feelings would be positive, and the actions definitely will be positive, and the R is the results, which definitely turn out to be positive. So TFAR, always remember that. Try to release all the hesitations. Try to release those doubts in your mind. Try to release that. Take 4 of life hacks. And if ever you want to make a permanent change, stop focusing on the size of your problems and start focusing on the size of you. Meaning that you don't stop there, okay? The problem itself, you just have to do some actions or some possibilities. And if things doesn't work out, well, let it be. But of course, we have to do something next time for that not to be, not to happen anymore. Okay? So we don't focus more about the problem. We focus more on the solutions. Okay? The problem is already there. We cannot do anything about it. It's only a matter of providing the right solution or the right action for us to minimize or as much as possible, who doesn't want to solve that problem. Okay? And the good thing about that is that why most people doesn't get what they want, because their mind or they themselves doesn't know what they want. So I always remember there's a saying in the book that on one of the webinars and that I've attended, that a confused mind will always say no. Of course, if ever there's a lot of things going on in your mind, how would you understand? So, normally, people who have confusion or doesn't know what they're taking into or doesn't know what they're doing, of course, they will say no on that particular action or on that particular proposal. Okay? So, as much as possible, you know what you want. Me, I want to be rich. I want to be successful. I want to be, an owner of the business. That's why I take action and I own it. I own it. So slowly, I'm building it. I'm learning from it, and I see the outcome was really positive. So if I can do it, why don't you? I mean, I'm just an ordinary person, who take action, read a lot of books, study, doing research, of course, to avoid certain, mistakes that was already experienced by some entrepreneurs. So more than that, I changed my mindset also about, those kind of practices that I've been doing. Normally, I wake up like around 5 in the morning, and I started then take a little bit of breakfast at 7:30, and then after that, sometimes I forget lunch. Take lunch like around 1, and then continue working until 6 or 7 in the evening, or until 6, and then try to do a program or a plan for the whole day, so that I can finish that. I won't be behind any schedule at all. So it's only a matter of taking action of those kind of stuff that you really wanted to happen in your life. Okay, all right. Don't stop. Just keep on going, even though there are times that it really pulls you down. Just go on. Just go on. Having a business is a lifetime commitment, because if ever you love, that's why I always advise people, choose something that you love, choose something that makes you happy when you're in business. Are you fond of doing this? Are you fond of doing that? So each and everyone's niche, you know. So as long as you're happy, you don't feel bad about doing or taking action in order for you to accumulate wealth or accumulate certain money or compensation to yourself. Okay, that's the most important of it all. You have to start small, and from that smallness, start building up. Okay, don't think about the money first. Just go ahead. I mean, perform or do the action. That's all, and know what you want. Okay. So if ever you're focused on being rich, definitely in the end, how I said, in the long run, if you're already, made yourself a brand or made yourself a name in the business, definitely it would expand, because by your name alone, it already stands something else. Okay, so money will only make you more of what you already are. So I always, you know, process of accumulating more wealth. I don't stop on a certain area. So I look at things on different aspect. Like if I'm already, I know this product already, so I would go in a certain um, business again, in which I love to have that. So I tried to do some research, do a lot of study before, and then a little bit of how I will start that business. So you don't stop on one business alone. Once you get the hang of it, then you can add more, or you can add more product or services or other things, which is beyond your business. Okay, all right. So always keep an eye on your goal and keep moving toward your target. So just keep on pushing that, no matter what the odds are telling you. You just have to do it, because at the end of the day, it's gonna be you, nobody else. All right. Okay. So moving on. So what else is bugging in your mind? You just have to clear that. As I said, like reading books. If there's YouTube, there's a lot of motivational or things that would grow or will help you, expand your business or try other business. That's how it is. But for me, start first at one business. That's all. But if ever you get the hang of it within a year, 2, 3, then you can start, adding more to that kind of business. All right. So always remember, think positive and think, nice things. And for that to achieve, you just have to be grateful in all the things that you have, because it always starts off being grateful. I'm telling you, if ever you think, whenever you're waking up in the morning, I'm doing my mantra, like 10 minutes or yeah, almost 10 minutes before I start my day. I always think so that I know what to do, I know what I want, so I just try to do my main mantra thing. Okay, so just keep eye on your goal and keep moving towards your target. All right. The next thing is the performing those kinds of stuff to our clients or our customers, because the purpose of having a business or opening up such an online shop or whatever is, ask yourself, what is my purpose here? Of course, the purpose of our life is to add value to the people of this generation and those that follow. Lucky if ever your kid, or you already trained your kid to be um, more or open about having their business, because it's only through business where you can have your own, you can expand your financial freedom, or you're accumulate a lot of wealth, rather than working on a 9 to 5, or I mean 9 to 6 or 8 to 5 jobs, because it will also, as I said, with my experience, it will really eat a lot of your time. Okay. And you have also to be aware that the first element of change is awareness. So you can't change something unless you know it exists. So try to improve that slowly, that you have to be aware of what's going on. You're aware of your performance. You're aware that your business is not making well. You can check your stats. You can check your insights. You can check your analytics. So by understanding it, at least you know where to stop. So as much as possible, you don't really rely on your staff or somebody. You have to also have to see if it's working or not, like providing ads, or promoting it, or hiring an advertising agency. You have to look into that. Okay. But there's a lot of tools in which you could use for you to be able to promote your product at your own expense. At least you can minimize or reduce the overhead expenses. All right. And the second element of change is understanding. So by understanding alone, your way of thinking, it originates. So you can already recognize that it has come, it has to come from outside you. Okay. So there's a lot of opinions, there's a lot of sayings, there's a lot of superstitions. Okay. So we have to understand that. And from there, we can realize and dig more of what they meant about it. And then for us to interpret it or change it, for us to improve our business, ourselves, our thoughts about that. Meaning, you're trying to change a little bit of that mindset. I mean, the mindset that was, when you were growing up, which was told to you, or which was, handed to you by your relatives when you were growing. So we have to be aware of that, and that alone will help you, gauge on how you'll be able to scale up, or what process or steps that you need to improve on your business alone. Okay. And this is one thing I always reflect back. When I was small, I always like giving our household helper my old clothes. You better take this home, or I'll give them my old clothes, my old shoes. You don't have to spend that. I'm telling them. I always that when there was somebody, you told them, "Who's this?" "Oh, this is the son of my employer, and he's a real different kid among the other of his other siblings, because he's a person. He's kind of, he's not stingy, or what. He always like, give." And that's how I was brought up before, because when I always share, I try to share as much as possible, not only um, uh, by finances, but as much as possible, I share my thoughts, those value information, so that they could help themselves in the long run, or in the future. Okay. And I always try to think that will, support myself, my own happiness and success, instead of those things that doesn't, or kind of irrelevant. So if that thing is kind of relevant, I don't dwell too much time on that. So it's one thing that you have to focus. As I said, focus on your target, on your goal. Mind those bashers or whatever. Even your relatives will tell you, "Oh, that doesn't work. Oh, that, no, that." Just do what you have to do. Okay, that's your belief. That's why I always tell you, read books, you meditate, something like that. It will help you, and definitely your life would be fine. Okay. Anyway, I believe I'm talking a lot already, and maybe we can cut it over, and we'll try to finish on the next session of what else need to do um, on your life and doing all this life hacks. Okay, guys. Again, thank you so much. I'll catch you later, and we'll try to continue what's next to be done. Okay. Thank you, guys, and please don't forget to like and share this video. Have a nice day. Bye bye.